So what type of wife do we want? Do you want someone who just goes along with you, just simple and soft, like more like a it's not a nice word, more like a slave type, like more like a servant type? A lot of men are like that, you know. Like just it's in our nature. We have acted the same with God. We have done the same as a Jewish people. We wanted just to be slaves. Just follow God. It's much easier in Egypt. Even it says Moshe had called himself Ish Mitzri. He looked at himself still as an Egyptian. We have what's called that galus mentality, that mentality of being in exile, the mentality of a slave. We in Parshas Mishpatim we speak about slavery right after the Torah was given. It speaks about the laws of slavery. It's not good to be a slave, but the Torah is direct. It says, "Don't be a slave." You mean a slave? You think I took you out of the slavery of Egypt for you to be a slave with me? This slave and this servant, it's not the same. A servant, it's very different than a slave, first of all. But even a servant, that's not what we want. Okay, because Eved, Avodah, means to do a work. It's the same word for slave and servant. But we go from slave to a servant of Hashem. But Hashem doesn't want us to be just servant. That's the lower level. That's why he says, if you sell yourself as a slave, like we do all the time, some job, in the way we act, we choose to be in the world. We follow the masses, the majority opinion, just whatever feels good. But that's not the ideal real man, right? You choose. If you choose to be a slave, you choose to sell yourself as a slave, Eved Ivri, then you should let yourself go free. And the owners are to try to push you to be free. But if you don't want to be free, at least at 50 years old, you have to let yourself be free. So what's the difference between being free and being a slave? You want a wife that is like your slave. That's like Lilith. Yeah, no, the word, you can't say the word. The idea is that Adam HaRishon, he had a woman before, right? His first wife was Lilith. And she was easygoing, just follow what he wanted, so to speak. We're speaking necessarily on the physical level, but on the conceptual level of who Adam was and what happened there in Gan Eden, in heaven. But he was not satisfied. He saw the animals, says something is missing. Even in the animal world, it's not really slavery, right? It's not one just following it's just like a more partner. And he saw the animals say, no, there's something wrong. It's that relation with Lilith who just pleasing me. It's not, that's not what I need. So God said, yeah, you're right. You know what you need? Kenegdo. Need someone who is going to stand up to you and not just to fulfill all your desires. Okay? You want a real woman? She's not just going to follow what... She's going to face you. She's going to face you big time. And she's going to throw all your crap back to you. All your weaknesses, all your bad points back to you. Doesn't mean she has to do it in a mean way. She doesn't have to do but she has to learn the art of being a Kenegdo also. But Kenegdo means I'm be opposite you. I'm going to be a mirror to you. I'm going to... like you say, Eshet Chayil. What's Eshet Chayil? A woman of valor. A woman of valor, really, Chayil means a soldier. A woman who knows how to fight. You want a real woman? It's not gonna be a woman who's just, yeah, honey, what can I do for you? Yeah, okay, that's very nice. Yes, once in a while, but if you're a good husband, then you maybe deserve it. But a woman is here to push you to grow, to push you to be the best of who you can be, to push you to be more authentic, to be more honest, to be more righteous, to be more spiritual, to be better. But you're not gonna have someone who is not like a coach type. She's not your coach, but she's your Kenegdo. She can feel your greatness. She got married to you because she saw something great in you. So don't back up. Don't back off. And that's why when you speak about an Eved who gave in the Mishpatim, just after the giving of the Torah, right? God say, I don't want you to do my laws, my Mishpatim, and just start with slavery. Because you just came out of slavery, and you might just want to do what people do in this world, just want to follow the law. Oh, but the Torah Sheba'al Peh, where you have to come with your own law, nah, just tell me what to do. Much easier. We didn't want to accept Torah Sheba'al Peh, only on Purim. And we didn't want to be a woman that is a real woman. We want to be like a slave woman, so to speak. And what happens? It says, what is in the Chumash, in the Torah? It says, what is the Jewish slave is going to say? I want to stay because I like my wife. I want to stay with my wife and kids. I don't want to leave now. My servant, my wife that I got married to as a slave, when he actually technically has a wife or outside of that, meaning not by the house of his master. So I forgot if it's the Zohar but Rabbi Dinovich mentioned that woman represents Lilith. It's like you go with your own servitude type of woman, female, and you are not ready to take life, confront life, to be a boss, a Baal. If you want to, so you need to be you're not here to be the master of your wife. You are the Baal Abayis, yes. Baal, which is, he has able to master the house. A master, a Baal, it's someone who will be able to, I don't know what the right translation would be, but someone who is able to control that energy, who is able to be a master, like the Baal Shem Tov, a master of the good name. He knows how it works. He understands the greatness, and he deals with it like a professional. So you have to learn to be a Baal professional man. Then if you're that, then you can have a real Kenegdo woman, Ezer Kenegdo, who's going to help you being the greatest of all masters, right? But the Eshet Chayil, it's a woman who knows, teach you how to fight. So she's your trainer on how to fight life, on being free, on being a master of yourself and in life. Woman doesn't like to see her husband a slave to society, to anything. So she's going to push you to be great. But as a man, you have to accept that, and that she's going to push you. And the reason she pushes you and she confronts you so much in many areas is to make you great. It's not to put you down. Unfortunately, sometimes the woman, because she doesn't feel love, or usually it's because she doesn't feel love, she just put the husband down, and instead of him making himself great, it crushes him, because he's sensitive, he's weak, men they give up. No, Don't give up. Who are you? You're a man. You're a man. You become better. You become stronger. But not by putting your wife more down, by listening to the advices of your wife. So anyway, don't marry a Lilith, marry a Kenegdo. Don't let your wife become just that servant woman. Let your wife be a real Kenegdo and learn to become greater. So, I know it's not easy, dealing with demons or dealing with a wife. Some people prefer to deal with demons than real wives because it's easier. At the end, it doesn't end up better, but it's just, we like to get the feeling right now, so that's why we fall for those things. So may we all make the right choice, learn to be free. It's preparation for Pesach, where we learn to be free, and don't let yourself fall into the slavery, where like a slave who wants to stay his master, he's punched on the ear. Why? Because he didn't listen to what the Torah says to be free. Naseh v'nishma, to become a master of yourself, like a divine being. Selem Elokim. Elokim doesn't want a woman slave, woman's servant. He wants a Kenegdo, a woman who fights with him. That's what we need. It's harder, but it's all worth it. Gives you the greatest reward. All right. So I wish you all that you learn to see your wife as a Kenegdo, see your wife as Eshet Chayil, woman of war, because the most holy war is the whole war in your marriage. The Ramchal says all our life is a war. Eating is a war. We have a war with our Yetzirah. Everything is a war, but the war with your wife is a holy war. It's a war of goodness, a war for greatness. It's a war where you don't kill each other. It's a war where you fight with each other to find the best solution. Like a war between two chavrusas. We have to make sure we don't make our wife a chavrusa. So maybe I shouldn't call our marriage a war, but it is a type of war, and we learn that all the little wars, most of the time, should be at peace. But whenever war comes, debates, arguments, we have to learn to be masters of war and learn to create peace. Become a peacemaker. I forgot how they call those people. But yes, I wish you all that you be able to become masters and have a real Kenegdo, and God willing, create an awesome marriage.